What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, I know it's been a little bit of time since I've done a video talking about the cards that I'm investing in. I know I wanted to do it, every week. I want to do a live video, but had a lot of projects, some stuff happened, and I don't want to sit there and come up with a bunch of excuses. So here I am. I'm gonna get the video. Um, here's pretty much like another five cards that I want to talk about that I feel that have potential in my mind. Like I mentioned this in my video that I talked about triple tactics talent. I want to start saying that correctly. I really I'm not. It's horrible. Anyway, I talked about how a lot of everyone sees Yu-Gi-Oh in a different way. Like there's some people that just say this and that is gonna be good. There's some people that think some of the most obscure things in the world are gonna be good. There's some people that call decks that get zero support say, oh, once they get this they're good. So a lot of people see Yu-Gi-Oh in different ways, and one of, I guess, my goals with this series that I'm trying to do is maybe to get more people's opinions on the cards that I am personally going into, and also too, like, I want to talk about cards that I have like a personal stake in. Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, let me just talk about this random card and this random card that I have like 3 copies of. Very much want to talk about cards that I really do feel like have a future use in Yu-Gi-Oh, or have some type of future. So let's just go and get into it. Let's start talking about Lib, the World Keyblade Master. This card, I've talked about it in other market. I've talked about it in other market watches. I've talked about it in other investment videos. But I'm just gonna go ahead and go into like the reason why I really like this card. So, like, I guess something that I like to look at. I like to look at. I guess I don't. I guess, like, is the card like a waifu type card, and that this pretty much completely hits the mark on that. So this is like a waifu card. That's like something right there. Like, if it's something that has that quality, then yeah, this is something that kind of catches my eye. But another thing that catches my eye is that it's effect that allows you to set one World Legacy spell trap card directly from your deck. That is actually really good because there's a lot of really good World Legacy like spell trap cards that you would love to have like just instant access to. So, like, the fact that she's pretty much like a link to that is, and she's a generic link to. She just has the restrictions to where, like the restrictions that she can only be linked if you have a World Legacy card in your graveyard. So you got to already have a World Legacy card in your graveyard, and then and then like I said, you could just summon her with just 2 monsters. She has 2,000 attack, which is really good. And she also has a second effect where if this card is link summon, if this link summon card is sent to the graveyard as link material, you shuffle one card on the field into the deck. So it is like really good non-target removal. The only drawback is, yeah, you need is right here. Can only be link summoned while you have a World Legacy card in your graveyard. There's also a drawback right here on this effect where it says, you can set one World Legacy spell tracker directly from your deck, but it cannot be activated this turn while you have no World Legacy monsters in your graveyard. So to summon it, period, you have to have a World Legacy card, and then for you to get the added like extra and like so pretty much to get her out, period, you're gonna need to have a World Legacy card, and then if you want to activate the spell trap you set from her main effect, you're gonna have to have a World Legacy monster in your graveyard. So essentially, to get the full effect every single time, you're gonna basically need to be playing World Legacy, the World Legacy, which in itself is not really the best because like, it isn't like World Legacy is like super, like, it isn't bad. I'm not gonna sit there and say it's bad. It does some combos, but also it isn't like it's like the strongest. There's a lot of choke points. There's a lot of stronger stuff out there in Yu-Gi-Oh. So that's what's really keeping it. It's really keeping it back. But the main thing that I'm really interested in is there's World Legacy spell trap cards that people just sometimes run in like decks and engines. And my whole idea is if you just get one of them in the graveyard, then you could go into her. So as a way to like break boards, or especially because I'm more interested in the fact that if you just use like a World Legacy, like just any kind of World Legacy spell trap to get a monster from the graveyard or something, and then or to do this and do that, whatever. You can essentially, summon her, and then you link up with her, and then she's able to just spin something back into the field. So I feel that there might be a scenario where it 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 also isn't the hard, like I said, it isn't, it isn't like that's the hardest thing to accomplish, because there's a lot of different strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh to where just cards that you would never think were good actually become good because they work in the specific niche. So that's kind of the reason why I feel like she might go up. On top of that, she comes from dual overload. So pretty much like on top of like that whole long-winded explanation about, these two effects, and it's, and also too, like I said, if you pull the whole thing off in a non-world legacy deck, that'd be kind of crazy too. Like, you never know, like, maybe you need like a world legacy vanilla, as like, as like a one of, and then he's sent into the graveyard as a part of a combo, you get instant access to her. So that's like kind of like the one thing, like, kind of like Garnet, where like Garnet, was sent to the graveyard as part of a combo. If you could send like a World Legacy monster to the graveyard, you basically have instant access to her, not only to summon her, but the whole effect. So, and then, you'd be able to get everything. So it's kind of like, I very much see the potential in her card design. Like in her card design, it seems like there's a lot, go against it, but in reality, there is a deck, there is something out there that can exploit this. Like, I very much want to take some time and see like something that can happen. But at the same time, yeah, I really don't have time for that, but I just have that idea, so I just wanted to get a couple copies. They're at 95 cents. They're really low, so I think right now is a good time to get a bunch of them. I do want to get some this weekend, so that would be pretty cool. Lingaribo. I went and talked for a very long time about that first card. Lingaribo is something I don't have nearly as long an explanation for this card. The main thing that I kind of sorry about that, guys. The main thing that I'm going for with this card is, you got the ultra rare, and the ultra rare is already money. Like, the ultra rare is money, and there's only two printings. Essentially, it's like 260, 298. It's like in the $3 to $4 range if you want this card ultra rare. And here you have the mega pack version just chilling, and yeah, it's just super 20 cents. Like someone has 99 of them for 23. Like, this right here is not really that expensive, and if this stuff starts to go and Link Creeper starts being used, I could very much see this, creep into the price of the ultra rare, and the ultra rare shooting up to like $10. Maybe this could even be a $5 card, especially because this is already 2021. We're coming in at 2023. Well, we're in 2023, so we're, yeah, like, we're 2 years removed. So like, yeah, and also too, another thing that like I kind of like forget. Actually, no, man, I'm gonna add this card. I'm gonna gotta write a note down. I'm gonna add this card to the other series that I haven't done in a while, that I will be bringing back with cards with effects that you completely forgot about. But yeah, I totally forgot this card had this effect. When your opponent activates a trap card, quick effect, you contribute this card and negate that card's effect. Yeah, that I always kind of like forget. Literally, I'm looking at the card and I look over and I saw trap card, and I was like, oh yeah, this thing negates trap cards. So yeah, this is like another thing where like a lot of times people just want to end they want to end their combo with like, with a little something extra. Like, maybe they're working on some Cybers deck math mech, and they're like, I just have this random monster. And yeah, like if it's a level 4 lower Cybers, turn that into this, and that automatically, gives a lot of protection from trap cards. You know Let's see. Yeah, it protect you from permanents, protect you from the evenly matched. It's yeah, this is something that could be really cool in the future. I keep looking over. I'm like, do not talk about this card for 6 minutes. Okay. All right. So Artemis, the Magician's Moon Maiden. This one is very straightforward. Alistair. Alistair. That's it. I just have this card because this is her first reprint, and at any moment, if Alistair, kind of creeps back in, you never know. I just want to have her available because this right here is pretty much gives you the Makaba. I'm pretty sure it's like a one card Makaba. Yeah. It is a one card Makaba. You just need a normal summon the Alistair, then you get the invoked, then you link off, then summon her, and then bam, you got like the one card Macabre without having to worry about anything in your opponent's graveyard. So I'm just getting her just to make sure I have her, just in case Invoke comes back in any kind of way. Ashura King. This one is extremely interesting. This is quick effect negation combined with OTK potential all in one monster. It came out in Power of the Elements, and it requires 3 level 3 monsters, so that's probably what keeps people away from it. But at the same time, okay, so I'm going to read the effect. While this card has material, it can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials attached to it. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles, it gains 200 attack. When another monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, negate the activation if you do destroy that card. You can only use this effect of Archer King once per turn. So essentially, it's like it gives you a monster effect negation, and then if I remember it correctly, you can negate the So it doesn't target, so it doesn't matter where it's happening. It just negates the monster effect. So this is something you obviously don't want to put it in defense mode or anything. It's at 0 defense. It only has 2100 attack, so it's not super strong, but it's able to. But off the bat, it could attack 3 times, and if it negates one, it could attack twice. So that's pretty much 60. What's that? That's 6,300 damage, and then if it negates once, that's 4,200 damage. That's actually really good in like this rent card. In this card right here. The only thing about it is there's just no deck that's top tier that could really exploit it. Like you have the Phantom Knights, which do level 3s, but even then the Phantom Knights are not really trying to just give up 3 level 3s like that. So this is gonna take either a specific combo, a specific deck coming back, or maybe some cards coming off the ban list to create some kind of combo deck, or maybe just another rank 3 or his level 3 archetype. And the second that comes out, I think this will be a very good choice for it, because like I said, not only can this attack multiple times, but it gives you the negate, and that's just something that I just kind of want to look out for. And the last card that I want to talk about is Inspector Border. So I very much have a personal connection with Inspector Border. When I transitioned more to trying to work on getting my Yu-Gi-Oh collection, together, because one of the main reasons, why I started investing with Yu-Gi-Oh is, like I said, to pay for to pay for my meta decks. And because I'm not gonna say that I completely paid for all my meta stuff with just investing in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it did very much help in bringing down the cost of having to get a new deck every 3 months, or constantly do this, playing this and that tournament. So something so I get there was one I saw there's a couple years ago where I kind of wanted to start working on my Yu-Gi-Oh collection. I started doing my number collection, then I started looking for the lost arts, and I just very much kind of was like, I still want to play more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, but I also just didn't want to play meta. I just kind of really wanted to slow down and just be like, okay, I don't want to be playing meta so much. And one of the decks that really made me comfortable playing Rogue, and that was Border Stun. And I just love playing Border Stun. Everyone hated me. It was just kind of cool. It was one of the few times where I went in, one of the few times in my time playing Yu-Gi-Oh to where I'd go into a tournament and not feel super nervous. There's times when you go with this new deck and you're just, I hope it does good, or maybe you have a really good deck and you hope that you do good with it, or maybe maybe you're not playing the best deck, you're playing one of the other decent decks, and you're just trying to keep it together. So sometimes there's these little bit nerves. I remember playing Border Stun, there was just never any nerves, because it really didn't matter. If someone, if you go in and they won, it's okay, well, you're playing a trap deck. It's not the end of the world. But at the same time, you would get so many wins just by playing traps, and you're just kind of chilling there. Border would get you games, and when you had grind games, those grind games were very, very, very skilled. I remember just kind of sitting there, just having all these just crazy long, just drawn out kind of grindy battles. So yeah, so Inspector Border will always have kind of place in my heart. Right now, the secret rare is is in that $2 range, so it isn't really too expensive. It's not really crazy. I'm kind of more looking at I'm kind of more looking at this card as side deck options. I believe that this could be a really good side deck option, to where people either to where like I guess kind of like similar to where how people run the Vanity's Fiend and Vanity's Emptiness sometimes, where it's just like a card that they use to the card that they kind of sight in to blow out their opponent that they know certain thing is coming. I kind of feel like Inspector Border kind of do the same thing to where it's like if you're playing a certain deck that really loses to this, and it's like okay, like just sight it in and just bam drop it down. So I'm more kind of focused on the ultra rares from Dual Devastator. These are really, really low. They're 20, 25, 23, 33 cents. And I really think that these kind of slowly come up. Maybe these will kind of be like, solid dollar because there were a lot of Dual Devastators out there. So like don't go too heavy in this one. But these right here, especially the secret rare from the Mega Pack, these ones right here could start. These ones are already like they're like $1, $1.10. Like these right here are pretty good price. I started wanting to pick up a lot of these secret rares. All right, guys, that's it. Those are the 5 cards that I want to talk about. We got Lib, we got Lingaribo, we got Armistice, Archer King, and Inspector Border. These are the 5. These are 5 cards that I currently are very much have a little bit of like a little bit of I want to try to use a different word, but I very much have some confidence in these cards. I'm just saying these are not cards that are supposed to go up in the next few months, maybe even a year. Like maybe this is more like 2 years from now with some of this stuff because like I said, like especially with Inspector Border, because you really never know. But at the same time, that's just kind of how Yu-Gi-Oh is. All right, guys, that's it. Peace out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.